If you want to be able to buy the most expensive players and open the best packs in FC24, go to u7buy.com to buy your EA FC24 coins. It's cheaper than buying FC points and just as reliable. With their already amazing prices, you can get an extra 6% using promo code Inception at checkout. Okay, guys, let's check out some of the new evolutions for today. Let's see if there's any. Let's see if there's any play styles added. I think it's like attacking full. Didn't we do this before? Attacking fullbacks? I guess not. I don't know. Bacha gets a card. I feel like the female players are not as crazy. Nowadays, well, they're still good, to be fair. They're definitely still good. I remember using Rolfo for a little bit, and I liked her. I thought she was nice, but the way the game plays out sometimes, like Theo Hernandez is kind of what cooks as an actual left back, because the meta fullbacks are actually not actual fullbacks. People need to understand that. I don't think we've received a single absolute full meta left back unless it's an evolution. Unless an actual like market player, I don't think so. You have to think about like left backs in real life. Dude, Theo Hernandez, they could have made up absolute, and they didn't with him either. Maybe if they do like a Camavinga SBC, you know what I'm saying? But if they have to give him the right play styles, right? Anyways, this one gives technical's good. Technical's actually helpful, and a regular press prevent's good too. It makes them more agile. I don't know if I would do it too much to the female players. Like some of the more physical guys, I would probably go in that direction, just so that they are not horrible to dribble with. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, a stat increase, obviously really cool to work with. Oh, yeah, you know, dude, Camavinga, what was it last year? They had a shapeshifter. Zach Camavinga was like a full meta left back for such a long time until they released the Capdevia card. Capdevia is a card you would assume would be an absolute full meta card, you know, like if they gave him the right play styles. But anyways, Cole gets a stat improvement. Main thing with these sort of evolutions is that you don't necessarily need to go in the direction of giving them an anchor because of the pace being in a certain area. Always remember that at this point in the game, if you are facing our trigger merchants, which there's been a lot of them pretty much the whole year, the pace will sometimes not always be super ideal unless the player himself has a good running animation, right? I've used players like Pele and Garincha. Like there's moments where my Garincha feels faster just because of the way that it works with the body type and stuff. I'm talking about attackers, but you guys get what I'm saying. With a card like this, I mean, you'd probably go in the direction of giving him a sentinel, increasing his defense, increasing his physical to be as high as possible, right? Pace would be in a pretty solid area. He would have some pretty decent play styles. You could technically, potentially, use him as a midfielder at this point. You definitely could do that because with all of this stuff added, you could just give him a gladiator, right? Boosting the defense, boosting the shooting, and you would have a pretty competent midfielder, right? Because he has defensive capabilities. It's a card that has all of the defensive play styles except for intercept, which obviously is a big one, but you could technically use him in that midfield setup. Honestly, with these sort of stats, very ideal for a 5-back or a 3-back formation, playing him as a left mid, right? Because he has the shooting as well as the defensive stats. Probably will lack in physical engagements from time to time, right? That's always something you have to be mindful of, but also a 5-star player. So 5-star with press proven. It's like having a very agile left back, right? So obviously with the whipped pass plus, that would be really cool to work with in that area because you probably wouldn't have to work with the dribbling as much, right? You have to wait 11 months of the year to be able to dribble with Ashley Cole a little bit better, right? Because of that press proven being such a big deal this year. Udogie, this is actually a pretty good one to boost with, especially since this is a free upgrade, right? This Udogie card performs pretty decently in game. I'm looking at the card though. I mean, you're still going to give him an anchor, I think, bro. Like, you know, you got to give him that pace, even if it's a little bit, you kind of have to. Defense and physical boosts, right? The shooting is in a better area, which is nice, right? Some very significant improvements there, which can be helpful in certain situations as well. Udogie generally is like one of those cards where he's not a lengthy, but I personally liked the way that he performed in game. And for obvious reasons, because look at all the 4 playstyles they gave him, right? Like all 4 of those playstyles are actually incredibly relevant to work with, right? Not necessarily to an absolute full meta capacity like a Stones card, right? Because Stones, they gave him pretty much everything. But all 4 of these playstyles, like Udogie is, like, in my opinion, one of the better left backs to use in this game. He's not absolute, like I said, because I don't think there's a single absolute in the left back position unless it's an evolution. But yeah, no, Udogie's a pretty good choice as well. I actually don't mind that at all, because Udogie gets the dribbling stuff now, right? He gets that press proven. If you take a look at the card before, doesn't have it. I never even reviewed this card, and I know that he doesn't have it because I used him before, and I'm like, yeah, he's a physical guy. You know, he feels physical in the dribble. But this is a good improvement because now it's like a physical dude that can dribble a little better, right? So pretty cool for that one, right? Technical is a nice thing to work with in the fullback position too, so I'm not against that as well. Grimaldo gets one as well from the Team of the Season card. I mean, hey, if you like the agile type of fullbacks, again, you can go down this direction if you really want. Still going to be a pretty decent card. I would probably go with like an Udogie instead. You know, Ashley Cole on a 5-star is pretty cool too. But I mean, Grimaldo also on a 5-star. Do I see people going in that direction as much? Maybe not. I think like with cards like Capdevia, I could see people going in this direction because one, Chelsea, right? But then the other one is the fact that he has, again, very good playstyles for a fullback, right? Working with incisive pass as a fullback is a W, right? Whipped pass is a W, jockey's a W, and anticipates a W. And with these improvements, with this card before, you had to give him a shadow, right? And he's extinct for obvious reasons. You have to give him a shadow, may lack in physical capabilities from time to time, also doesn't have base card stats improved in certain areas. Now, with the evolution being added to the card, he is very, very well formatted. He just looks like a very good agile fullback in the most for the most part, right? So if I do this and I do the evolutions and I compare like this, that's the main stat differences, right? So those little bit of extra, you know, improvements to the physical, it does make a big deal, right? But it's also in the dribbling, it's also in the passing, because now, right, in comparison to the card before, if we take a look at the play styles, I always forget where it is because it's like new, right? This card, it already had press proven before, so he probably was an agile fullback before, but you know, still has the play styles. The stat boost is still pretty nice. Can't really go wrong with that. Chelsea fans will definitely be all over that for sure, because the play style pluses are really relevant to work with in the fullback position. Camavinga gets one. He might be better now. When I first initially tried this card, I was not impressed whatsoever, to be honest with you. Never did his review again. A lot of reviews I didn't do this year, but I wasn't really impressed with him at all. The press proven plus, I didn't really care too much on him. Now, with the improvements on the evolution, there could be some sauciness to work with from stat increases, right? Could be pretty decent in that regard. Unfortunately, no possibility of making him a lengthy in comparison to the previous version, and I do feel like if I could, you know, give him a lengthy and use him as an actual left back, that would have been something that could have been really cool, to be honest, but not something that you can do. Ake's another one too. Ake's not a bad card, you know, but again, not a lengthy on him, but the stat increase you can't really go wrong with. You probably still give him an anchor, I would say, make his pace perfect, defending in a better area. I think this one actually has it added to him now. Yeah, so that is a big deal. To be fair, press proven with 90s for dribbling stats is nice. You can't really go wrong with that. I think that's definitely a really big deal. Makes the card way more usable as well, which is really cool. Cancelo gets a card too from the fullback. I don't like the way that Cancelo's card is formatted in a general sense, but obviously if you're building some sort of Portuguese team, you can't really go wrong with these upgrades either, because he's been well formatted in multiple areas. And honestly, even though he doesn't have 4 playstyle pluses, all 3 of these are incredibly relevant to work with. And because he has intercept plus, you could technically use him as a center mid if you really wanted to, right? Really up to the person. If you wanted to go down that direction. Roberto Carlos, I don't really care too much about Roberto Carlos this year. I don't think they've ever made him like a, I don't know. I think there was one year where he was like really, really solid. I forget which year it was though, but what else we got here? What's some nice ones? Bacha is the one that's in the game. Did she have a thing before? Okay, so that's pretty cool because she's actually really nice on that left stick. So giving her press proven is going to make her extra nice on it. So that's a very good agile fullback to use in that area. Really, you can't go wrong with that, to be honest. Give her an anchor as well, I would say. I think that'd be still important on the card regardless. The stat increase is very nice. 5-star, 5-star. It definitely will get dunked on. We've got to be honest, right? In this game, the meta with the far post crosses. Gotta be very mindful of that. Someone sees botch on the team, they're definitely going to go for that on a pretty consistent basis. 100%. Maldini gets an upgrade. Anchor chemistry style probably on him, or a shadow. Now, what's interesting about this card, right, is that it kind of makes you want to give him an engine, right, and then potentially use him as an actual left back because his dribbling is higher and he now has press proven. But I still feel like with Stones, I don't know, he just feels like a juiced out center back in the right back position, which is why he works so well there. But I feel like with Maldini, I don't know if it would do the same thing to him, you know? I don't know if it would. Karchari from the team of the year gets an upgrade. Can't really go wrong with that either. That's not bad. Moving on. Kieran Trippier. Where he had one before, no? Okay. Yeah, he had one before. I mean, still, the stat, even if the cards have it, guys, we're at a point in the game where it's like sentimental value. Like, if you're building a Newcastle team and you still have that card, I mean, bless your soul if you were using this thing. Let's be real. If you're using this thing, you're definitely a Newcastle fan. But hey, you get a nice little improvement there too. There'll be a few other upgrades you can kind of go with. Nuno Mendes would be an interesting one. But I think this one's weird though. Footies founders and attacking fullback. So Footies founders and attacking fullback being added, the stat increase is nice, but it's like double press proven. Oh my goodness, that feels like such a waste. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather just give it to players that don't have it. Like, that'd be a weird thing to do. Like, you would just be doing that for like a stat increase, right? But that's like the idea of what you should be going with when it comes to this specific evolution. Let's see if there's like a chained one that people like. Let's see here. This guy's always trending as like a top tier fullback, but I've never seen him in the game, to be honest with you. Gotta be honest. Like, I'll never see someone like really grinding these out that way, you know? Kieran Tierney gets one. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's been added to him, right? Press proven. Yeah, that'd actually be a really good left back card. I actually face this card sometimes, and he's pretty solid, to be honest with you. I do face him sometimes. Bastoni gets one. Dubois. Making a lot of these cards 5-star, 5-star is kind of crazy. Yo, this one, like, look, a Sergio Gomez card that has these stats, like, that's kind of crazy. That's actually wild. Press proven plus already on the card though, so it's a little bit wasteful to give it on him. But yeah, no, the sentimental cards for this one could be really good. Jordi Alba is not a horrible choice if you want that Messi link as well. Let's see what the sentimental cards would be like. I like when they have like a long ball pass, incisive pass, like those things. It adds a lot to fullbacks that can dribble well as well, you know. But yeah, Portuguese wise, Nuno Mendes looks like the guy, but obviously he gets like a double link up. If I were to go sentimental, there's a lot of Portuguese sentimentals you can do. A lot of Portuguese sentimentals, but yeah, that's like the ballpark area of what you'd be looking at for the meta of this evolution. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video today. I will catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.